Next on AM 1480 WLEA, The Amy McManus Show.
Welcome to the Amy McManus Show on AM 1480 WLEA. We are live here on Saturday morning. If you want to listen to the show online, go to www.wlea.net and click on the broadcast link, and you can listen to us on your computer. Brian O'Neill, did you guys get your census envelope at your household?
You got it.
Yeah. It's so funny because I open it up and it allows for 12 individuals in your house, and then it asks you to get out another piece of paper or go online or something if you have more than that. I answered one question.
What was that?
How many people live in your house? That's all that's required by the Constitution. Then they ask you the name of your children, their age, the date of birth, their sex, their race, whether or not they go to college. They ask you if you own your home or rent your home.
Do they give out the? Do they ask for Social Security numbers?
Yeah, they might as well at this point. But you know what's interesting is there's a barcode on it. Our name isn't on it, but there's a barcode that you have to show in the window. So I'm thinking this barcode's got all the information on it. I mean, these guys, if they want that information, they just got to go to your credit card company and they can find everything out they want to know. So, we shall see what happens if I didn't put my phone number down. They ask you for your phone number in case there's a problem, with the census, but I skipped on that. The theme of today's show is going to be health, kind of following up on Sandy Dennison, sort of. I'm going to talk about the healthcare reform bill in the second half of the show. But I did want to follow up on a previous story I'd had about this abortionist down in Philadelphia named Kermit Gosnell, the guy where they found the fetuses in his freezer. Some more charges are pending. He did lose his license. The Philadelphia Medical Board there said that his clinic had a clear danger to the public. When they raided the house, as I said, they found those fetuses in the freezer. But they also found there were blocked doors, halls that could not accommodate a stretcher or wheelchairs, locked doors that nobody could get into, breathing tubes, a heart defibrillator, and oxygen gauges were not existent or broken. The only suction source for, say, clearing a blocked airway was the same one used for abortions. There were no inspection stickers anywhere on any of the equipment. There was a thick gray layer of dust everywhere, apparently, and there were fetal parts sitting around in jars. So this guy is basically, I don't know, he's basically an animal, treating these women and these girls like an animal. Incidentally, he was already removed from New York State as well as Delaware. He had already been accused of malpractice there and lost his license there, so he just moved to Pennsylvania. So who knows where he will go next. Speaking of girls and women as well, the World Association of Girl Scouts hosted this event at the United Nations a couple weeks ago, and Planned Parenthood was allowed to have a booth as it is. And they had all sorts of interesting information. They had pamphlets that said happy, healthy, and hot. The brochure contained explicit and graphic details on sex, all sorts of different kinds of sex, masturbation, anal sex, etc. Talking dirty, sex is okay outside of marriage, doesn't matter who you have sex with, etc., etc. So I have no issue with Girl Scout leaders or Girl Scout troops or, the girls that come to your door selling the cookies, but the leadership clearly of Girl Scouts of America has a very strange agenda, allowing Planned Parenthood to distribute such material. They do want to teach children as young as 5 about sex, and that was evident at this booth as well. So, go Girl Scouts! It's the American way. Other health news: the Fort Hood shooter, Nidal Hassan. More news has come out about his history. Obviously, he had been talking jihad for a couple of years, and there were warning signs everywhere. But additionally, now they've come out and said that he was basically too fat to be serving. They gave him many chances to lose the weight, and they suspended some training for a while until he could lose some pounds. And he continually failed at that, and they let him stay on anyway. I don't know. I know a lot of you listeners probably know individuals who were honorably discharged because they just couldn't get their weight down. The military, they're tough on this. You don't lose that weight down to the ounce. You're out of there. So it's just another interesting facet to this story that this guy, for whatever reason, political correctness, concerns that there would be a backlash from the Muslim community, whatever it might be, they let him stay. So it's another interesting health-related story there. Bernie Madoff got beat up in prison this past week. He's serving that 150-year sentence in North Carolina. He has not officially come out and acknowledged that it happened, and his lawyer is neither confirming nor denying. He said it was a high blood pressure and heart palpitations, which was why he was in the infirmary at the prison. However, there are many people around him who are saying, yeah, he was beat up. He had a broken nose, fractured ribs, cuts to his head and his face. The details of the injuries could not be independently verified by the prison as well, but other inmates who were recently released said, yeah, he was ganged up on by 3 different individuals who decided that Bernie needed some payback, apparently. Another follow-up to the hot dog story I told you about a couple of weeks ago, where the American Medical Association came out and warned all of his parents, how to feed our children hot dogs, because we don't know how. I did some research on that story, and it was amazing how much press coverage it got, because in 3 years of the statistics, it was 3 years and 16 deaths. Now, obviously, every one of those deaths is horrible and terribly sad, but out of the thousands, 15,000 per year children who choke, only 16 of those were in 3 years were due to hot dogs. So just kind of another interesting way that our government and different organizations can take something that is fairly normal in everyday households and turn it into a major catastrophe. You're listening to the Amy McManus Show on AM 1480 WLEA. WLEA. Welcome back to the Amy McManus Show on AM 1480 WLEA. So, Brian O'Neill, did you hear they might get some wind in Howard?
So I've heard.
We shall see. Here we go again, right? It's interesting. As soon as I saw that headline, I thought of another story I came across. Senate Democrats are really furious with these grants that some wind companies are getting from the stimulus bill, because apparently they're being awarded to foreign companies. Some of that stimulus bill money, was going to go towards green energy and green jobs and yada, yada, yada. But Chuck Schumer and Bob Casey of Pennsylvania, Jared Brown of Ohio, John Tester of Montana, they're creating this new initiative called Buy America, and they want to reallocate those funds that came from the stimulus bill and guarantee that they stay with American companies or at least in America, because 79% of the $2 billion in clean energy grants has gone to foreign wind companies. One of them was this big project down in Texas, which was supposed to create 3,000 jobs in China. And a tenth of those jobs will be in the United States. So not exactly health related, but an interesting story. Also, kind of more locally here in New York State, Corning Inc. was hoping to get a interesting contract via Hillary Clinton, because she was, after all, former senator of New York State. However, the plan is for the State Department to spend $5.4 million to buy some new crystal stemware, apparently, for the American embassies, but it's not from Corning. It's called Steuben Crystal, which is from the Corning company. The contract instead was given to a Swedish firm. So it's nice to know that while our economy is just in the tank, that we still can spend $5 million on crystal stemware for American embassies, given to Swedish companies. It's great.